marching band. For your halftime entertainment, we celebrate the 43-year reign of the speed metal kings, Metallica. With 9 Grammy Awards and 14 nominations, 38 concert tours worldwide, and 11 studio albums that span 4 decades, the Titans of Thrash remain the standard by which all other metal is measured. We begin with a 1984 classic from their second album, For Whom the Bell Tolls, followed by the 1992 tour anthem, Wherever I May Roam. And then, let's turn down the house and light up the stage for the Auburn University Marching Band and their show, Metallica.
Wednesday night is here once again, and that means it's time for another edition of Auburn Family Night. This is our weekly show where you, the Auburn family, take center stage in discussing and sharing the Auburn experience. Let's get into it. Your comments, topics, questions, calls, all of that right now. War Eagle, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of E2C Network Live. We appreciate you joining us, hanging out with us, and spending some time being a part of our little family within the Auburn family. As is typically the case on Wednesday nights, we like to get together with you for a little thing we call Auburn Family Night. This is your show each and every week where I am the puppet, you are the puppeteers, and we discuss what you want to discuss in the Auburn experience. We want to start off the show, as we always do, by welcoming you in. For those of you that are returning, for those of you that are finding us for the very first time, this is a little bit of a different look for the first, well, for the people that are returning as well, but for the first timers too. So we want to welcome you here and hope that you'll announce your presence. Let us know who's hanging out with us this evening with a War Eagle, however you'd like to announce your presence into our chat this evening. As is typically the case on Wednesday nights, we're going to go where you want to go. We're going to discuss what you want to discuss in the Auburn experience, brought to you by our friends at barnersupply.com. You can see me wearing one of their hats this evening. You can see their logo, one of their other logos down in the corner there. And throughout football season, Auburn Family Night is brought to you by our friends at barnersupply.com for plenty of great Auburn content. And not just Auburn content, because they're great on social media, but Auburn products, apparel, all kinds of good stuff. Make sure you support another great Auburn company who supports an Auburn content network like ours. We'll be talking about them throughout this evening. As I said, this is a live call-in show. It is available for you all. We're going to start accepting calls right now on this particular evening, Wednesday, October 8th. I can't believe we are already a week into October, but that's football season, y'all. It is gone and over with before you know it, so you got to enjoy it as much as you can. Okay, let's start the show off here as we typically do. What's on the table to discuss? Certainly a big matchup. We are finally back to talking football, not just bye-week stuff. Auburn versus Georgia. Cam Newton is also having his jersey retired. The band's going to be having a brand new light-up show. So basically, if you didn't get your tickets to the Auburn-Georgia game, good luck paying a reasonable price and good luck getting to the game. But we appreciate you guys that are going to be joining us for what's going to be a lovely, lovely opportunity to be together, the Auburn family, and have some fun times on the plains. That's the plan right now. All right, so let me do this here and address what's happening. What are we doing here in this particular setup? It's a little bit different, a little bit odd, a little bit unique. Yes, we are not in the normal locations for our Auburn studio. We're not even in the location of the mobile broadcast studio, although I could go do it in some version of the mobile broadcast studio. But I am on the road for the foreseeable future for things that I'm not necessarily at liberty to talk about. None of it bad, all good stuff. And so certainly we hope that we'll be able to share a little bit more about that in the future. I do plan to be in Auburn this weekend. If you are concerned about that, you probably noticed our content normal schedule was a little bit delayed, lacking in some areas, and that will probably be the case in terms of a consistency for the foreseeable future. But all that to be said, we're still here. We're still rolling along like as much as we can, and we appreciate your ability to give us a little bit of leeway, a little patience on all that front. And of course, whenever we're somewhere new, please do let me know about, sound quality, internet, all that kind of stuff. We want to make sure that we're giving you the best quality show, even if we're having to kind of rummage around a few things. All right, the phone line is open. We've already got one person in the hopper, so to speak. So please just stand by for that. We'll get to those calls in just a little bit, but you can go ahead and sign in. We want to say hello to a bunch of you people who already started checking in with us so early in the show. All our fine people. We got Sam, Micah in the house checking out everybody here. Stan Lovin, our resident Bama fan. Micah joining us. Good to see all of you to start off this evening. So many of our familiar faces. And I once again want to apologize for us missing the Auburn Experience show this week. That was not on Austin this week. That was solely on me for a very good reason. But we are going to plow ahead with this particular show tonight. Okay. Let's dive into some questions and comments. We'll get to some calls here in just a second. Hunter's going to start us off this evening. Do you think there are more pros or cons in the location change for the Baylor game next year? I'd prefer it to be at home, especially considering the schedule format changing. Home games are not common. Supposedly there are some NIL benefits, although I'm not well versed in the reasoning. So for those of you that have missed the news of the week, and of course it would happen when I'm in one of my busiest points of life, so we couldn't really fully address it. But Auburn has announced that their home return game with the Baylor series will not be played within the confines of Jordan-Hare or in Auburn, Alabama. It will be played in Atlanta, Georgia, and Mercedes-Benz as part of the Aflac kickoff game series that Auburn's been a part of previously for 4 separate times. Last time in 2018, I was there for that one. It was a fun time. But this one's a little bit, hurtful in the sense that we're not able to have having a home game taken away from us in the sense of a traditional home game, although Auburn would be the home team is the word. Well, definitely for that series. So they'll be in their blues, hopefully, which is great to hear. I do think that there are a lot of pros that come from this. I also think there are a lot of big cons that come from this. The way that I would like to approach this topic is, you may not like it, you may not approve of it, but you will also be the first ones to whine, and this is not to Hunter, and this is just the topic and how it's been handled by a lot of people, moan if we didn't have enough NIL money to get the players that you want, the players that you need to keep them here. So keep in mind, this is the world we live in. You can complain about all we want, but there are NIL benefits as is reported, and it's going to be beneficial. So I think it's something that was not done in haste, something that was not done just as a money grab, but it's something that was done as a necessity for the. So how about this? I think we could rest in this particular part of this discussion. On the surface level, not thinking past the sale, so to speak, it is not, there are more cons. But in terms of thinking about the inner workings of all this, of NIL, there is more pros than cons. But you just may not like it that as much, because that's what's going on there. Okay. A lot of you have been talking about that. I don't want to make our caller wait any longer. So we're going to go ahead and get him in right now, and we'll keep coming back to this topic, I'm sure, this evening. So you guys can continue to do that. Continue to smash the like button and the share button as we get going. Let's say hello to our first caller this evening. Let's make sure everything works. What's going on, Kevin?
We going to beat Georgia this coming Saturday.
You heard it here first, folks. Kevin has called the win a day before we would normally do our predictions.
And run the ball.
I think that would make a lot of people happy, Kevin. I think if Auburn came out and just ran the ball and did it well, I think that would quiet a lot of the masses of discontent right now. So certainly, I do think that would be beneficial. I think a win is certainly within Auburn's wheelhouse, but we'll see if it actually transpires.
Then we can further football to Cam Coleman.
Well, you got to throw it around to everybody, right? Yeah, to Perry Thompson, to Eric Singleton, all of them. Yeah, it's not as simple as just because you get an outstanding running game that the passing game is suddenly going to work, but it certainly can't hurt. And I think that's something that was sorely lacking, especially in the last game that Auburn played. So you are correct that we need to run the ball more double-digit times at bare minimum, and that's bare minimum.
How's the quarterback room looking?
Well, give me a little bit more about what are you looking for me from there? Because I have not been. I promise you, this is 1 week I have not been informed about things. So what are you looking for there in terms of quarterback question? Are you asking like who's the starting quarterback?
Yeah.
Well, it's Jackson Arnold as far as it's been reported out there, and I don't think there's any need to change that right now. So I don't think there's going to be any need for that. Now, what I will add on top of that, Kevin, it seems like there's been a lot of introspective looking inward for each other, and in terms of the offensive staff, and focusing more on what they can do for Jackson Arnold and the quarterbacks as opposed to what necessarily they have been doing wrong. I mean, or he has been doing or could be doing better. Yes, they're focusing on that, but they are, as coaches, are trying to figure out what they need to do to get what they've seen out of Jackson Arnold out there. Does that help? Is that a better way to answer that question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think our defense is playing really good.
Oh, yeah. That's the understatement of the year. Yes, that they are playing outstanding right now. But do you remember, Kevin, there were a lot of people that were frustrated with the defense, especially in the first game and a little bit in the second game. I think, if I remember, I mean, it hasn't been that long ago, but time flies in general, but especially for me this past week. So I think it's always interesting to remember this, Kevin, that 1 week you could be dogging a team, a player, a unit, and the next week you could probably be praising them. So that's just how quickly the switch can turn. So we all need to remember that in some of the criticisms that we are so blatantly throwing out there. But the defense has been outstanding, especially when the offense has been looking a little bit lackluster, if not pitiful at times.
I hope Hughes Freeze got some plays up his sleeve against Georgia.
I think from what I heard from previous press conferences, I will admit I haven't been as versed on them this week, like I said, but the goal is not to be too much more nuanced or tricky with things, mainly for the sake of the offense, to kind of just make sure that what they do well, they're doing well often. In terms of in the games, what works, all that kind of stuff. And then I would agree with that philosophy at this point. Maybe we're throwing too much at the chalkboard. So while it would be great to have some trick things up our sleeves that we're going to throw at Georgia on a home night when everything's going crazy, I don't know that I see that happening at this point.
I think Jackson Arnold will have a great game against Georgia.
Well, if you're going to do it, you got to do it somewhere. Doing it at home is much better. So that's going to be much easier for you to pull off.
What time the kickoff?
I think it's 6:30. You're asking me. Normally, I am on this stuff. I'll admit it that Kevin, this week I am just a little bit not misinformed, not fully confident in myself. But I believe we said it's 6:30 for this particular game. I am today, to be honest with you, is the first day that I actually was able to sit down and do some semblance of work in terms of for the whole week, or excuse me, for a full day. So I believe it's 6:30, and we're planning to be there right now and be there at Tiger Walk. So if you're coming, make sure you come find me.
Yeah, I think I don't have no ticket.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough then. How much do you think tickets are going for right now?
I got 4 tickets for the Mercer game.
Okay, well, I'm glad you got those locked down. Now, I don't think that those are going to be super hard to come by, but you want to make sure you go ahead and lock in a ticket so that you can be able to come and see the Tigers this year on the Plains. Because even no matter what the season's looking like, all that kind of stuff, it's always a good time to be.
I might try to go to the Missouri game.
That'll be a good one too. They just announced that kickoff time for a night game too, so we're excited about all of that kind of stuff. You want to go ahead and give us your score prediction, Auburn versus Georgia, to round out our call tonight?
Yeah.
What you got? Let's hear it.
Auburn 38 and Georgia 21.
All right, spot Auburn with 38 and then 21 points, 3 touchdowns for Georgia. I like it. I think hopefully there's a lot of scoring. I think we all would feel better if there's a lot of scoring, especially from Auburn. We'll take it on the other side of the defense too.
Yeah.
Kevin, I love your outfit. Love that jersey. Appreciate you calling in this evening, buddy.
War Eagle.
All right, War Eagle, bud. All right, that was our first caller this evening, Mr. Kevin. Always on the ball. Some of y'all got to beat the guy to the punch here. He is loyal. He is ready to go. We could all stand to be more like Kevin, but we already got someone in the hopper ready to go. We'll get to them in just a little bit. So stand by here for our caller and go ahead and get in line if you'd like to. Once again, to remind you of our friends at barnsupply.com who are supporting Auburn Family Nights. This is just one of the designs, one of the logos that you can see another one down in their corner. Great apparel. I don't have all of my props with me as I am out of the state and out of the office and all that kind of stuff. But I did remember, got to take my trucker style hat with me with the old Auburn A, the barn A up there as well. So barnsupply.com. If you use the link in our description here on YouTube, it should be attached on Facebook and Twitter with the actual thing that you're watching right now. Head on over there as an affiliate of theirs. If you support them, you're supporting us. So please do support a great Auburn company, barnsupply.com. Okay, we're going to get to our caller here in a second. Let me make sure we weren't missing anything from you guys about some of the conversations here. We got some clarification from Stan that Tiger Walk is 4:30, so that would mean that the game is 6:30. And yes, the tickets do seem to be crazy. I was curious, and I was trying to pull this up for us right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at the old SeatGeek. Keep in mind, another way to support us, if you're going to ever be buying Auburn tickets or tickets of any kind, to be honest with you, be sure to use our code E2C Network, all one word. If you're able to do that, if it's $50 or more, you get $20 off, and you can use that one time. I don't know if that's changed any time recently, but let's just take a look at like a single ticket. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. Okay, I'll be honest with you. It's just it's $228 is the lowest price that I'm seeing right now for Auburn versus Georgia up in the upper deck. That's about $20 more than I paid before with the taxes and stuff. So you're only at this point, if you want to go to the game, paying about $20-$30 more than what I purchased that right when Cam Newton's jersey retirement. I'm shocked that hasn't bumped up any more than it has. Now, excuse me, don't wait. If you are wanting to be at this game, this is one of those games where the $200, I think, is the price of admission. It's going to be a great game. It's a great rivalry. It's a night game, first night game for Auburn and Georgia and Jordan here in over a decade. You've got the jersey retirement. You have got the band doing their next light up show called Game On. Listen, this is a great, I'm not doing that just to say, so you'll go use our ticket link. I hope you do. But it is one of those ones that you don't want to miss if you have the ability to be in town. Let's see. Does the E2C network code work for an evening in Minnesota? I don't know. If it's on SeatGeek, I believe the code works. So I feel like I'm missing the. If I don't know if that's about like something in the NFL or something like that, but make sure you just give it a try. Why not? Right? But once you use it once, usually it tracks it that you've used it on your phone number when you log in or whatever. That's usually how it works. But great question. I hope I answered that correctly. Okay, we'll get back to some more questions and comments from you guys. He's been waiting patiently. Let's get our next caller ready to go. Mr. Hunter, what's going on, sir?
How are you doing, Kyle?
Man, I am hanging in there. I am finally getting a little bit more sleep lately, so I'm ready to roll now. Yes.
I hear you, brother. I know all about that. I've got a 2-month-old, so lack of sleep I can understand.
Yeah, listen,
you have to forgive me if I got.
I'm doing better now, finally.
Good deal, brother. Yeah, if I have a bunch of background noise, I'm sorry. I'm driving home from work, so I got some AC and car noise and all that jazz. But
we can stand it. It's good.
Cool. Yeah. So last week or a week before our last game, I amongst many others were pretty upset. Defense played lights out. So I was thrilled with their performance. But offense, I was pretty up in arms about. But, now that we've had a week or so to kind of put our emotions to the side and think with more logic, I kind of took a deep dive into what I believe our issues to be. And I really, truly don't believe that they're necessarily personnel issues. I believe a lot of it's schematic. Not to say that the RPO system can't work. I mean, we saw it against Baylor, but the biggest difference is we didn't run the ball. I think we had, 9 total design runs with the running backs.
Mm-hmm. And I
And
think it was actually 8. Maybe it was bumped up to 9, and I missed that, but I believe the number was only 8. I know that's just one less, but just to put it into perspective for you.
right, and that's crazy. I mean, literally RPO, the first part of that is the R, and that's the run. So I mean,
Right.
if you're not running the ball, the RPO system really can't work. And then it's designed to be quarterback friendly. I don't know how well versed you are, or the audience is, but
Sure.
RPO is typically like a 1 read, 2 read type of deal. If you're going to throw the ball, if not, you take off.
Right.
However, if you can't run the ball, your box numbers are going to be different. Your coverages are going to be different, and then you can't throw. And I've also noticed we're not throwing over the middle, like at all, like next to none. So
that was definitely early on too. Yeah, I'd say that changed a little bit in not the last game, but the ones in the middle there. But that was noticed very early on too. So maybe we can point to a little bit of a trend there now. Finally, in the bulk of the 5 games that we've seen.
Right. So I think a lot of it, I think Hugh, his kind of game plan with Jackson, and like I said, this is just my 2 cents. I can be completely wrong. It's just an opinion out there. We get some dialogue on and get some other feedback. Yeah. I think they try to really simplify things for Jackson to kind of get his confidence up, getting him used to playing in our environment with our playmakers. We're seeing a lot of like out routes, comebacks, curls, things to the outside that are known to be easier throws. There's not a lot of progression. They're pretty much asking him to, hey, if the numbers are good in the box, hand it off. If not, find 8 or 1 on the outside. As why the run we kind of abandoned, I'm not sure. And I actually saw an interview with Damari Alston, and I believe Jeremiah Cobb was in on it, and they asked him straight up. They were like, hey, were y'all expecting to not run the ball? And it seemed to be a pretty sore subject because they both said no, but they didn't want to speak on it.
Yeah, I imagine if you are those 2 guys who most games this year you have you've shown that you're worth your salt, right? You're
right.
The heir's apparent to Jarquez Hunter, whether that's more Damari, whether it's Damari, doesn't matter. Both have shown they're worth their salt, and neither of you are breaking double-digit carries. That's a little. It's a little disconcerting. So you can understand. I appreciate their professionalism of not speaking too much on it, but certainly I would agree. You can probably sometimes read between the non-said things. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And especially like Damari, because like you mentioned, he's been patient, man. I mean, he's a true senior.
Yep.
And he waited his time. He could have bounced to a different school in the days of NIL on the transfer portal and the drop of a hat and started.
Yep.
So I really do think going into this Georgia game, it's going to be a lot more similar to the way that we ran the ball against Baylor. I think we're going to run. I just put a number out there. I really, truly think we get 25 to 30 carries on the.
I would love that. I'd love it, to be honest with you, because, I've said this a lot. I know you've heard me. Run first is my mentality, so I would love that.
And I think that's what we have to get back to find success. Like I said, the RPO scheme works well if you run it. If not, you're limiting yourself to one side of the field and only on the outside of the numbers, and it's not hard to defend. So I think Hugh's going to kind of get back to the basics, figure out what worked, and I think we're really, truly going to see a breakout game on the ground.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, I would love nothing more than to be in that stadium and see the first drive is nothing but runs. And I'm not saying sacrifice it for the sake of just proving a point, but if it's working, you're going to hear that crowd. First of all, how about this? Look, Auburn fans can be a little bit self-deprecating sometimes. So if we run the ball first play, everybody's going to cheer loud, to kind of say, hey, we can run the ball, even if it's bad. But just imagine hearing the fever pitch of, it's working again. It's working again. It's working. And then, as you move down the field and maybe even moving into potentially field goal position, if you can't make it all the way down there just by running the ball, that's going to build up a lot of confidence in the fan base, the atmosphere, the team, all that kind of stuff. So I'm not saying that we should do that, but that would be, like I started off the show talking about, I think running the ball is going to satiate a lot of the emotional responses that we've seen over the last 2 weeks.
I agree. it's one thing to lose and you broke out the playbook. You tried running, and you tried throwing it over the top. You know, you broke
Yeah.
out everything that you know to do. It's one thing to lose that way and just not be the best team on the field that day. It's
Yeah.
another one to only do one or two things and do it poorly and do it for 4 quarters.
Mhm.
I think that was my biggest disappointment.
That fourth quarter.
Just in general, man. I was like, oh my goodness, like, and it was pitiful because I was to the point, and I'm not typically the type of person to do this.
Yeah.
I text my wife and I was like, I'm about to turn this game off. I can't watch this shit no more.
Right.
And then Xavier Atkins runs it back 5 seconds later, and I'm like,
Sure.
okay, it was just miserable. Well, I just say all that to say this: I truly think we go back to how we ran the ball against Baylor. I think it's going to be a run first. We're going to force them to play man coverage and load up the box to slow us down, and then we're going to see more of that deep passing attack that we've been desperate to see. Everybody cares about the stars and the recruits and Cam Coleman and Singleton and Simmons. I think they're going to start eating in the second half of that game.
Sure. Yeah. Here's one thing that I want. Sorry, me, the contrarian always. What I don't want to hear is if we get what we've all been asking for, and it's not you, Hunter, you know this, but just in general, the collective saying these types of things. If you get what you ask for, more running concentration, and that means less passing. Now, in your world, obviously, you noted that that's going to open up for those opportunities too, and let's hope that's the case. But then we're going to hear is, well, are they going to transfer because they're not getting their throws? So we got to pick our poison here, guys. We got to be able to. It can't have it both ways necessarily all the time, especially when you've got an offensive line that's been showing the lack of ability for consistency for the last several years. But I hope you're correct. It would make my little Auburn heart joyful to watch what I saw against Baylor. You were on the post game shows and stuff. You saw how happy I was with the run game. So that's what I want, is to see what we saw in Baylor again. I think that would make a lot of people happy. Just in case we can't do a preview show, would you like to offer a score prediction, or are you not ready for that?
Oh goodness. Oh, so assuming we do what I predict we're going to do, I think it's going to be low scoring. I think it'll be like a 2017 Georgia.
Mm-hmm. Okay, 2017 Georgia. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think we start to kind of show that we're going to turn the page and we're going to start putting things together. I don't know that it's necessarily going to come after just one bye week. I think it's going to take progression through the season for us to kind of figure out our identity.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you for offering us your preview and your prediction of that. And hopefully we'll be able to do that show tomorrow night. I'm not sure if that point at this moment, but I want to give those that are calling an opportunity to speak their mind about it just in case it doesn't happen. So thanks for offering your perspectives tonight. It's always good to hear from you, sir.
Yes, sir. War Eagle. War Eagle to you too, Micah.
All right. War Eagle. And see you later.
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll got our next caller already lined up too. So just hang tight there. We're going to get into it and continue to talk about it with somebody else here shortly. Once again, I always take the opportunity to remind you, my friends at barnsupply.com. Please do shop with them. Our links are available there on your social media posts that you're viewing on Twitter, X, whatever you call it, Facebook, and in our descriptions here on YouTube. Please do go check out their library. I'm not even going to call it a catalog. It's a library of different options that you can have, things that you can be customized as well. Barn out, barn hard. Show the Alabama fans they can't make fun of us for that. We're going to seize that opportunity in our heritage and roots of being an ag-based school. We barn out and barn hard here. BarnerSupply.com. Thanks for supporting. Thanks to them for supporting Auburn Family Night. Let's see if we've got anything that we need to discuss in the chat before we get to our next caller here. If the Stan, I think these types of statements, they are correct without any further discussion about it. But if you discuss it a little bit further, you'll notice that it's never that easy. But to your point, like, you've got 4 downs to get a first down. If you're getting 4 every down, why not just keep running the ball, right? On a run, if you're running that and getting 4 every time, it's usually never. Everybody thinks that the average, that means that every play that they were getting, and it's not. It's an average. I'm not saying that you're saying that, but it's so easy to look at it in that regard and go, okay, we'll just do that and it's simple. We're fine. It's not necessarily the case. A lot of the times that is magnified by those big runs, which Jeremiah has had, which Damari has had. They've both done very well with their very limited capacity thus far this season. What do we got? Lots of callers tonight. Yeah, we're loving seeing them. So, Micah, maybe you should call in tonight. I have appreciated you guys definitely utilizing this tonight. It's been nice to hear some of y'all's voices. I've missed you guys with me being out on our regularly scheduled content for a few days there. Let's see here. This from WT. Whether we go run heavy or pass heavy is a moot point if they've not fixed the problems of the O-line. He knows. This is a man speaking from my own heart at this point. He knows me. A balanced attack does take some of the pressure from the offensive line. And to be fair, they've proven they can run block pretty well. I think they've done that somewhat. I'm not necessarily convinced that they can against the upper echelon defenses of the SEC quite yet, although I've not seen a lot to make me think that I should holistically dive into that opinion. But maybe I'm wrong with that. Maybe penalties. That's a great point as well, Rodney. Got to fix those. Run the ball, fix the penalties. I mean, that's two big things that are going to make such a huge difference right there. Okay, let's keep going. We got our next caller ready to go from the Great White North. That was a good roll there. What's going on, Brian?
That was impressive.
I didn't mean to do that, but it worked.
That was very impressive. So I could use that code to buy my Vikings tickets? Is that what you're telling me?
As far as I know, it doesn't matter. Like,
I'll let you know.
Just try it. And like I said, I believe the stipulations are across the board, $50 or more purchase, one-time use, and it's a SeatGeek code. So obviously when we sign up for this as affiliate programs, you're signing up with the idea of doing it for Auburn tickets, but just feel free to use it. Yeah. So
I have a pretty good Auburn ticket connection though. So I mean,
I know. Yeah. You seem to always be well connected.
I might be using those seats the Kentucky game, just FYI.
Okay.
So
yeah.
We'll see where that
I'm
goes.
hoping I will be there. I don't see a reason why not at this point, but we'll see.
But life happens, right?
It does happen.
Yeah. I just, to the comment earlier about if you run 4 yards at a time, why pass? I mean, because I'm being snarky, because the other team has a defensive coordinator that gets paid a lot of money and will take it away from you eventually if you keep doing it. I mean, that's the problem.
But I think the
sentiment is correct, though.
The sentiment is 100% correct. And the point I think he's trying to make, and people who said they're trying to make, is it is working in some regard. Do it more. I think we all agree.
We all agree with
carries is 8 attempts by the running backs is awful. So I think we all agree there.
It's not acceptable, especially in a one-score football game.
Right. Absolutely.
It's not like you're behind by 3 touchdowns and you got to go up top, right? It's a one-score game.
Here's a little helpful hint for Dalton. I don't know if this actually works. I've somewhat suggested that. I didn't.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
I didn't say that, did I? SeatGeek.
You did not say that.
I didn't. Nobody said anything here.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Correct. The SeatGeek overlords. Yes, that was not said. No, I hate it. I missed him last week not playing. Obviously, we all bye weeks, and then although maybe it was good for you, and then this week I've got an event, so I'm not going to get to see him, and that sucks. But I'll be checking my phone as best I can. But yeah, from there on I have no conflicts, and I'm just excited to finally feel like settle into watching Auburn football because
it's a good time to be settling in too. I mean, I know be here a lot, but October is what's made for college football, right? So this is
it's the best, it's the best, and I'm missing. I don't know. How do you feel? I guess you want predictions from us. How do you feel about Saturday? Do you have any thoughts? Are you going to save them for tomorrow, or?
Well, it's, once again, I'm not sure. I am prepared to do the show, but we're going to obviously operate in this time period for me on a case-by-case basis. But I think I've only begun to start to think about it. To me, this may be so poor of a decision-making process, but I'm going to take what's happened the last 2 times that Georgia has come to town with 2 Auburn teams who had no business competing with those 2 Georgia teams.
And they did.
And that alone shows me that if I in any way walk into this scenario doubting that Auburn can pull off this victory with stronger likelihood than maybe they seem to, then I'm just not being serious about this. And I think Georgia fans feel that the common sense ones, right? They said it. So those people said it's a nightmare. It brings up just weird things sometimes.
Well, I was texting with my buddy yesterday that lives in Alpharetta, and I'm just like, he's a huge Auburn fan, obviously, and I just said, look, I mean, it's Cam's jersey being retired. It's the first night game at Jordan Hare this season. I mean, first night game in how long against Georgia? 2010 or 11? I mean,
I know it's been over a decade, and I think it may be actually. I think you're correct on that.
I think I was at one in would have been 12. No, it wouldn't have been 12.
We've
Well,
done
the
this on the
schedule
show
got weird.
once.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've done this on the show once where we figured it out because I had in my mind originally it been almost 2 decades, but it's actually shorter than that.
I was there. I was,
long.
I think there. I think it was 12, and like it place emptied at halftime because it was so bad.
Yeah. It's been too long. Let's just say it that way.
Been way too long. But we're just due for a little bit of that Jordan Hare magic, aren't we? And I know you can't like put that on paper and say this is why Auburn wins. But that's why Auburn wins. We're going to keep it close. We're going to keep it competitive. And we're going to have some Jordan Hare thing that's going to happen.
And let me add on top of what you're saying there, folks. Like, so let's just say the horrible happens here and Georgia just comes out firing all cylinders, gets up 2 touchdowns and maybe a touchdown and a field goal.
Yep.
Don't start the panic mode just yet. Just
don't give up.
Just settle in. Let's see what we can get going here. This team, has done a lot of introspective stuff. Players and coaches, and let's see what they can put out there on the thing. And Brian, I'm trying to figure out a way to ask this question. I would have asked Hunter earlier too, but it's kind of a duh question the way I'm thinking about it in my head. I want to ask the question: is it almost more important for no matter the outcome, the showing of this team to look strong? I don't think that's 100%. A correct way to ask that though, because obviously you're conceding the win. But
100%. Well, I mean, let's go the other side. Let's say we lose.
Sure.
Okay. I mean, like Hunter's score prediction. If we lose 2017, I don't think anyone's going to be upset as long as we play well. But I've talked to a lot of my other buddies and said they're like, yeah, against Oklahoma we played well. Mm-hmm. I feel like I never blame the ref guy, but that was bad.
Yeah.
I'm always like play above it. I'm like, but we gave up 11 sacks. Like there's that too, right? But also in the A&M game, I didn't feel like it was a 6-point game. Did you? It felt worse than that to me.
That's what made it frustrating, is because A&M literally tried to hand the game to us, and we refused to take it for the most part. So.
Yeah, and I think I put a comment in the Discord under the Conquer Club that day. Like when we got the ball back, I'm like, this feels like it's more important than a drive to win a game. It feels like it's program defining.
Yeah.
And I hope I'm wrong, but to be wrong, we need to come out and play strong and well Saturday, regardless of the effort.
Yeah.
Because if it looks bad again, that's where it's going to get ugly.
That's a trend.
It's a trend, and it's going to get ugly, unfortunately.
Right. Yeah.
And we can't. But if we play 2017 and we play well and we lose by a field goal, okay. I mean, I don't like it. I never like losing, especially to those people that bark at you. Like that's not fun. But I mean, I mean, at least we'd be like, okay, we're going the right direction. We seem to have fixed some things. The team had heart. The coaches seem to have adjusted schematically, like Hunter was saying. Like we've done things to make sense. By the way, it's a great analysis by Hunter. I felt like that was really.
There you go, Hunter.
Love that stuff, man. But that's just, I mean, we could get him and Thomas on breaking down O-line and scheme. Like that'd be fun.
So I'll just sit back and just let them go.
Oh yeah, just totally sit back and just let those guys go. Let the big boys eat. But yeah, so I think how we play matters almost more than the outcome. I would agree with you.
Yeah.
You got to
feel
win.
bad asking it that way because I never want to concede a win. But the sentiment is what I'm more trying to get across.
Yeah, it's a fair question at this juncture.
Yeah,
I mean, because I don't want to go there, but the storm clouds seem to be gathering. They're still way off in the west, but they're gathering, and things need to change, or it's gonna get ugly. And I don't want it to get ugly.
Here's a good analogy. I know you're a guy from the north, but I'm sure you've been to the beach in your lifetime.
Yeah, many times. Yeah.
I figured as much. They say snowbirds for a reason, right? So,
have you in Florida, the further south you go, the further north you get. Like every license plate in Fort Myers, Naples is all Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois. Anyway,
I didn't believe that until I actually saw it with my own
go try
eyes,
it.
But here it is.
It's real.
It's a real thing. But if you think about the beach out there, you can watch all on the horizon, all the storm clouds start to kind of gather and build, and it can get real dark looking out there. And you're wondering, are we about to head up from the beach for the day?
Right.
And then before you know it, even it might come close into land. And you can even see like a bolt out there. And it just kind of
steers away.
So
Yeah.
we'll see how close we get. We'll operate that way.
That's
How
a very
close?
good analogy, and I don't want it to come ashore. I don't.
Yes,
I mean,
because we've already been through
I
that.
want this to be successful. We can't become that program. So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. So War Eagle, God bless you with whatever's going on, and I hope
Yeah.
it
All good
ends
stuff.
well. So
Yes,
I'd love
yeah.
to hear that.
Obviously,
Man.
I'll say this because you and I have spoken about these things.
Yeah.
For those of you that believe in the power of prayer, we would certainly covet those right now. Like I said, everything's fine, but just that the Lord's plan will come to fruition through all of it, and we will come out in the end of this thing the way that we all would like for it to. But
You got those,
as I said, all good things.
Get those prayers, brother. You're a good man.
Appreciate that.
All right.
Thank you
See
so
ya.
much for your
Bye.
call. All right. Great calls so far this evening from everybody. We've got to hear from some of our regulars, some that we hear from time to time. So don't be shy. This seems like it's a good night for you to give it a try. Listen, if there was ever a night that you need to try the call-in link for Auburn Family Night, tonight's the night. I'm in a weird location. I mean, this is, if y'all could see what I'm seeing, there's a door back there. I couldn't figure out a way to make that work. So we're making it happen here tonight. So give it a try. You can be on camera, off camera. It's brought to you by our friends at bartersupply.com. Links are in your description. If you want to check that out, go shop with them, or just go take a look around. Certainly, we want to continue to show them that we are a company that's worth investing with. They are certainly one of those as the Auburn family, part of the Auburn family. You help us do that as well by supporting them. Bartersupply.com. Let's see here and roll through what we've got in the chat and see if anybody else wants to call in this evening. Good to see you, Felix. I wanted to give you a little shout out for checking in with us. Appreciate that. I saw y'all giving Micah some hard time here in the chat. Here's what I appreciate about Micah. Micah knows what he's getting himself into, and he's a good sport about it. So we appreciate you being here, hanging out with us as much as I know they're giving you crap in there. Yes, I did not know we had weather talk on E2C Network bingo card. Let me just, WT, you've been here long enough to know this. I don't think you've actually... You've heard me talk about the days of the Bada Get a Bachelor show, where we did a mini series podcast about The Bachelor. It happened this week. Actually, I met some people this weekend. We were having dinner with them, and they were asking about what I do. They were actually Auburn fans and had seen some of our stuff, and so I kind of explained. Here's how wide we're a little bit different than everybody else, and certainly we're going to spend the majority of our time talking about sports, but this is about the Auburn experience. And my best examples are when we did a mini series about the Bachelor because of Maddie Pruitt, the coach's daughter that was in it. And then we also have done a children's book that has references to Auburn in it, but it's not about Auburn. And you probably don't miss them that easily if you know what you're looking for, if you're an Auburn person. So we'll do that and much more. We actually had something kind of planned to do with some recent event stuff, but it just never worked out, and probably for a good reason because of what I'm busy with right now. But we're always willing to push the boundaries here. So if we need to have E2C Network Auburn weather talk, we'll figure out a way to do it. I've always said it this way when I get someone that asks, will you do this? Will you do that? I've learned to never say no immediately, just not right now, because even if the idea is not something that I necessarily want to do as it's presented, I can't tell you how many times something that you all have suggested has been brought back in a different format, or at least attempted in the background and said, okay, well, that didn't work like I thought, like I knew it wasn't going to, or I didn't think it was going to, but at least I tried it. But here's something else that flowed out of it. I mean, that's why we're here on YouTube. I know we're broadcasting other places, but video content I pushed to the side for years, and that probably is to our own detriment. But here we are today because of you all saying this is what we want. And even if we can't provide it to you at that time, we're going to try to do that because we like you guys for some reason. I'm kidding, of course. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Now that I can't teach you about having a UTI, no UTIs, but we are all good. We're all good. Certainly, prayers of the Lord's plan for this to come to that's going to happen regardless, right, folks? I mean, for those of you that believe in Jesus and his in the plans that God has played out for us, he already knows what's going to happen, but we hope that it's what we want, and so that's what we're just in the middle of right now, and in an interesting and fun time. And hopefully one day we'll be able to talk about that a little bit more openly. But yes, prayers are much appreciated. All right, let's get some more Auburn talk going here. We have certainly hit a plethora of Auburn football talk, and we don't have to stop talking about that. I know Georgia is the big event this week, and certainly that is warranted of that. There's been a lot of basketball news, so we'll go wherever you guys want to go, but please bring it up as if there's anything else that you want to talk about, just to kind of get you thinking about those things. Basketball season is starting to really build a fever pitch for me with the new era starting with Stephen Pearl. Seeing him, as the head coach in the portrait with the team just made it real for me for some reason. Having the game time announced for Auburn versus Purdue in Indianapolis made it more real for me. The tip-off time, some of them a little bit confusing, but hey, we'll take what we can get, right? Just getting Auburn basketball. All of these things, SEC media days, it's all good stuff, man. So I am, those of you that have been here for a while, you know how much I love to talk about basketball, but Auburn basketball. And I'm not saying that I do that bit of our content the best, but I feel more confident and fun and having fun about that than anything else. And I enjoy all of this. So I hope that comes through when we talk about basketball here, about how much I love talking about that as a student, as what I consider a student of the game, as also someone who played the game in capacities in college for at least for a short amount of time. Let's see what we got going here. In the score prediction show, would you ever do for y'all's home games or all of them a weather report for the games? No, it's funny you mentioned that. I know you mean this probably in jest, but when I bring up that graphic on the screen, which is normally the game preview from Auburn for the week, I think it has a projected temperature, projected forecast on there. So it's kind of already a part of our content. I guess we've been doing it all along and we just didn't know that. There's a score prediction from Brian, it looks like. Here, we didn't get to talk about this with Brian and even Hunter. I haven't done my score prediction, but I would like to see Auburn score more than 20 points. And I'm not saying that if they score 20 points, nothing else matters. But to me, I just need to see the team score more than 20 points. That's after last week. That's kind of what I'm a big thing that I'm looking for right here. Hunter says, who do you think would win an arm wrestling contest on our football team? Best man wins and moves forward until all players are gone. That is a great question and not one, Hunter, that I've thought about. If Derek Brown were here, I'd probably pick Derek Brown, but he's not. I think you go to some of your obvious candidates, your Keldrick Falks, your Kieron Crawfords, some of the offensive linemen. I think the term would be country strong. I feel like that's Connor Liu. So I feel like Connor Liu's got to be in that category as well. But then you'll get these linebackers that are just sneaky. Have y'all seen images of Elijah Melendez and Bryce Dees? These boys is big. So check them out. If anybody's got some suggestions, you can throw them out. But I think those are the easy ones, right? Offensive line, defensive line. But don't sleep on some of these linebackers. They some big, strong boys too. So we need to make sure. Cornbread fed. That was tough. That was hard. That was rough for y'all to watch this one. Do you think we'll have a game where Arnold throws for 300 this year? I think at this point that's more likely to happen than not. I just, based off what I've currently seen, I would say I'm not super confident in predicting that at this moment. It just wouldn't shock me if it did happen. In the Mercer game, if the Mercer game was not on the schedule, I'd say probably I don't feel like it'll happen, but because it is, I'll go there. Anyway, all right, we got our next caller in tonight. It's for tonight, so let's go ahead and go to school with him. What's up, Thomas?
How y'all doing this evening, War Eagle baby?
We are making it over here, buddy. We are just living life right now and enjoying the heck of it and ready for Auburn, Georgia.
Are we?
Hey, listen, here's the thing, and I know where you're going with this, and I appreciate where we're probably going to go in questioning some of these things. I genuinely am just excited. I have been so excited for this matchup, no matter what happens and stuff. Now, certainly, if we show up like we did against Texas A&M, I'm going to be very upset about it. But everything that's going on campus for the game, to me, I'm amped up for it. And certainly we need to dive into, are we amped up for what's going to happen out there on the field? It's tough to say that after a bye week where there's not been a lot to go off, isn't there?
Well, I mean, yeah, we had a bye week, but it was a terrible slate of college football. There really wasn't any good games to watch this past week.
Yeah.
That was a little demoralizing, and I don't let that bleed into my little Auburn loving heart, as you like to say. My first problem is I have to travel to Charleston, South Carolina this weekend for a wedding. Now the wedding's at 1:00, the game's at 6:30. The groom's an Auburn fan. It's at a brewery, so I should be okay.
But can we just address what Auburn fan gets married on game day? This Auburn fan. I did. I can't. I'm just okay.
Hey, I get it, and I hadn't known Will a long time, but I had some questions for Will when I get there. But oh goodness gracious me! All right, George game. Here we go.
All right, let's do it.
We don't look good. We hadn't looked good. You can give me all the mystique predictions you want to, but there's no facts. There's no stats on paper. There's nothing that leads me to believe right now, as of tonight,
right,
that our offense is going to look good against Georgia.
I agree.
If we just so happen to pull this thing out, I will be happy to eat crow, as long as y'all put some gravy on it.
What are we talking about? White gravy or brown gravy?
I don't care as long as you put a little bit of black pepper in there. Just put a little pepper in there.
Gotcha.
But I'm not confident one bit. I don't believe in the Jordan Hare magic. I don't believe not this game. Okay. This game. I don't believe that our leadership has us where we need to be.
Okay.
And I touched on that.
Yeah, we talked about it last week.
Pardon me. Weather's changing. I just don't feel good about it. I can't find a positive going into this week yet. Mm-hmm. And now my tune might change tomorrow morning. I don't know. I don't know. But I don't think that we have. I think that we got pieces in place.
Yeah.
But I don't think the leadership is there. Now, they've had a bye week. It could be completely different. I don't know. We talked about last week Xavier Chaplin. I was like, well, why is he then moving instead of why is he not moving when the ball moves? And then we go, well, that's a hearing issue. You got eyeballs.
It's called peripherals. Yeah.
Cut them in. Just cheat off somebody else's test. I don't care.
I've never thought about it that way before, but yeah, please cheat off the offensive lineman's test if he,
You're getting paid way more than I do and most of us do in a year to do your job, and you're not doing it. And then we have other deficiencies across the offensive line. We have deficiencies at quarterback. We have deficiencies at play calling. If we're going to turn this year around, it's got to happen on Saturday.
So I'm trying to figure out how I want to ask this.
Thank you, Hunter. I appreciate that. That's a very high compliment.
Yeah. If this team comes, let's not even say the offense comes out and looks outstanding, but just looks competent, looks confident, and puts together a performance that, despite the outcome, you walk away from going, okay, well, that's the team that should have been here all along. Will you believe it's a fluke? Will you believe that maybe last week was more of a fluke? Now, I'm going to grant you, I think we saw two games where, different things happened, but some similarities in the very bad category. Like, I guess maybe this is a confusing question. Like, what would you say to that? Like, would you be still skeptical if you saw them put together a competent game against this opponent at home? Or would you be like, no, this is what I thought we were going to have happen this season? Where are you at in that?
I would say 100% fluke right now.
Okay. Okay.
Then we got to turn around and get ready for another game. What is it, Missouri next?
Missouri at night.
Yeah. So it's 100% fluke. I don't think that one game turns the season around and saves people's jobs and people starting positions.
Right.
I don't think that at all. If we win this game, great. I'm still skeptical because we haven't put together a complete game yet.
Yeah.
At all.
No, I agree with your line of thinking that I just need to see something. It's what I've been saying about the offensive line, and people told me all offseason this is going to be the best offensive line since Kingdom Come, and I'm like, I just got to see it. And so I saw flashes of it this year, but it has not been consistent. I want to go back to something. You talking about the Jordan Hare magic, and I know, trust me, I'm here with you on the. I got to see it. But are you telling me that you wouldn't think about how bad relatively those two teams past of playing in Jordan Hare with Georgia were, and then going to the wire with Georgia? And they were in my opinion, much better Georgia teams based off some of their results too. That as far as what we know about this current Georgia team, and they're not a bad team. You don't think there's something to that? Like 2 times in a row in this year, like bad teams, like I don't know. There's got to be something to it.
I fully believe that missed opportunities outweigh magic.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay. And sometimes that makes the magic.
I'm not trying to be a downer at all.
You're not.
I'm just trying to look at this from a realistic perspective.
Yeah.
You know, when our quarterback of old P. Thorne, rolled off an 80-yard run in that first half, I thought, man, there might be something to this. There might be some magic. and then you just crumble in the second half. Had a ball game won. I remember sitting under during a trying time in my life. I was living back with my folks, and I'm sitting under their back deck, and I'm watching this ball game on my laptop, and it's hot as all get out outside, and I got me a tub of water with my feet in it, and I got my drink and everything. I'm ready to go. And I watched this whole ball game, and I felt so confident in the first half of that ball game. And then we come back to the second half and just pee the bed. And just, oh Lord.
Uh-oh.
And I think leadership is everything. I think that the ability to adjust is everything, because we've got the talent, and we almost have the talent in the last 3 years. Almost have the talent. And now that we do, we're still not making what I would say are the proper adjustments. Mm-hmm. We're not adapting to the team that we're playing. We're trying to force one thing down somebody's throat, and you can't fit a pipe cleaner down the eye of the needle.
That's a really good analogy. I've never thought of it that way.
Or you can't fit a camel through the eye of the needle, to quote the book. And we're not making those adjustments, and that doesn't come down to talent. That comes down to strategy. That comes down to leadership. Yeah. So should we win this game, I am happy. I will be dancing around. I might take my shirt off and swing it around my head up there at Charleston, South Carolina. Yeah. And I will be more than happy to talk my mess, so to speak. But I'm gonna, as soon as I wake up Sunday morning, I'm still gonna be skeptical. Yeah. Because we've only done it one time. Yeah. We had the last 2 weeks, we've had every opportunity to go in there and win a ball game, and we haven't taken it. So if you take it 1 out of 3 times, how if you lie to me twice and you tell me the truth once, how am I going to take that?
Well, it's hard just to give over at once, but twice, I mean, I got you.
Yeah. So I got questions, and I'm not going to try to poo-poo all over the team. Sure. Because these kids have worked hard and they're playing hard. Our defense is top notch, but if we can't score, how are we going to win a dadgum football game?
Xavier Atkins. No, you're right. I mean, listen, they did all they could last game, gave the offense every opportunity, and that just goes to show you that it's never a one-sided game. And really, you need all three facets of the game because I feel like sometimes too, special teams can hurt you more than help you at times. Like we always think of the game-winning field goals, but gosh, some of those penalties, those muff punts, missing turnovers, in that sense, I mean, they can just flip the game on its head. So it's almost like one of those things. Special teams, you want it to just be like it's there, but I'm fine if it just is okay. Like we did decent in it, but defense certainly has been there for Auburn. Offense needs to be. It's going to be a tough one, man. It's going to be a tough one, and I'm ready for you and me to be able to get here on a Wednesday night and say, how about that offensive line in a good way? And maybe this is the time. Maybe.
I hope for it. I hope for it. But right now, as an Auburn fan, from where I'm sitting, not where everybody's sitting, just where I'm sitting. Me,
sure.
Just good old T, your buddy T. I'm not confident. I don't believe in it. And I need to see more than one win.
Yeah. No, I think that's fine to be in a place where, you can win this game, look pretty decent doing it, but it's easy to win one game. But to put together a string of narrative changing events is more important in the long run. So good thoughts as always, sir. Like I said, I'm ready for you and me to be looking at each other on the screen on a Wednesday night and just, I think we don't have to be elated. Just, we're good. We're good. Like we're good. That's what we're looking, just to be satisfied at this point. And I think that's where a lot of the Auburn family is. We want to be satisfied with where we're heading. And that's what Auburn people want, is to be heading in the right direction. And that's not been a lot of that as at this moment.
Now, let me ask everybody in the chat.
Yeah, let's get it.
If we win this game, does that make this season better if we don't make a bowl game?
Oh, no. I'm going to answer that for. I mean, everybody can answer what they want. No, if you say, I understand your question. We win this game, we don't make a bowl game. Does that make the season better? Absolutely not. No.
Absolutely not. This is just another game, and now, albeit a big game.
Yeah.
But if we win this game and don't win a whole lot more after this, is it worth it? No. 0%.
That's why you play the whole season. That's why you play the whole thing out. Fit the whole narrative, right? So
exactly. It's the measure of this season is not a game, it's the entire season.
Yes.
And we don't know what the rest of the season holds, so again, I'm not hopeful. But if we lose this one and win a bunch more games, I'm not saying win out, because I don't think we're winning out.
Mm-mm.
But if we win a bunch more games, get to a bowl game, win a bowl game, I'm a little more hopeful. Right. But I've got to take this week to week, day to day, and see where it comes out. Because right now, I'm extremely disappointed in the way the season is going. And people say, "Oh, it's only 2 losses." They were winnable games.
I think your point's fair. Yes, it is only 2 losses. Yes, it is to whatever you're feeling about what Texas A&M looked like. It's on paper 2 quality opponents, but it's the way, especially Texas A&M, that you lost, because you can look great. Right. You can look great against the worst of the SEC, but if you can't, put that together consistently and be an actual consistently respectable team every single more often than not, then this is where this kind of questions and lack of belief begins to seep in, and rightfully so. I recognize that. So, Thomas, buddy, it's always good to hear from you.
War Eagle, y'all. Love each and every one of y'all. Y'all have a good week.
You too, man. Thanks, War Eagle. All right, that's our good friend Thomas. Lots of good calls this evening. We are going to go ahead and shut down the phone lines just for sake of time, but thank you guys for all of y'all that spent some time with us this evening on the call and link. I can take some last minute questions and comments. I'll look through, see if there's anything we missed too. So drop that in there. Let me give you some reminders here. And as I addressed with you guys at the start of the show, life is crazy right now. All of it is good right now. Once again, I will continue to covet and ask for your prayers that everything is going to go the way that we would like it. But ultimately, we recognize it'll be God's design for that. I wish I could share more about that, but hopefully in due time, that's the case. Because of that, I will be in different locations for a while. A little bit different scheduled. Content will be a little bit hit or miss at times. I'm working overtime to get on some more regular content. I do plan to be in Auburn this weekend at this moment to be there to cover a lot of the stuff. So hopefully we'll see some of y'all there. Check all that stuff out. Now, the schedule going forward, keep in mind, all of this is tentative. I haven't even set up links for these things, but I want to make sure that you're aware of what we're trying to get done for you guys. Tomorrow night is normally Auburn versus Georgia preview night. We'll see if we're able to do that. I'll try my best. That would be at 9 Eastern time, 8 Central. We also are going to be, tentatively, Tiger Walk, the live stream. Join us for that. Auburn, Georgia game is going to be a very packed and big one. Post-game show. And this one, I feel this one's going to happen pretty regardless. I never say regardless, but whether I'm there or not, and it does look like I'm going to be there, it's going to be happening. Keep in mind, if we are on campus for the week in a win or loss, it will take a little bit of time to start after the game, which means it will be late. If it's a win, it'll be real late because we got a lot to do to cover at Toomer's Corner and stuff like that. And it will be popping over there if that happens. And the plan will be to make up our episode 145 of the Auburn Experience podcast this Sunday. Again, all of this is tentative. All of this is subject to change during this point of my life, but we do appreciate you guys being understanding of all that. Trust me, I am missing this though, as much as you guys have missed that. And I know last week was a bit of an abrupt change with the Auburn Experience. Okay, look what we got here. Anything else? Thank you for the kind words, WT. We're taking it all in stride there. The season is already a disappointment. I think I understand the sentiment. I think it's a bit early to call it a disappointment because if you went out the rest of the season and have a 10-2 season, and you win a bowl game / go to the playoffs. I know that seems foreign. I don't think you can say it's a season, but right now I understand feeling that way at some points in that. Okay, let's call it a show there. Thank you guys for your patience once again. Thank you for being here and being part of our little family within the Auburn family. We appreciate you so much, and I'm glad to be back with you guys in the saddle here on Auburn Family Night. Thanks again to our partners, auburnsupply.com. Please go check them out since you're done here with us, barnersupply.com. Links are in our description on the post that you're watching on social media. Great Auburn apparel there. As always, before we leave you, we want to remind you that the Auburn Creed asks you to do these things: to do justly, love mercy, and walk humbly with God. Thank you so much, and War Eagle.